Dr. James JC Cooley. That's right.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on The Answer.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Wow, we got a fantastic show coming your way today. We got an all-stars. I mean, you know what? I'm so excited. I can't even get it out. I'm excited about what we're going to talk about. I'm excited about all of these great guests. You should be excited as well because you're going to learn a lot. You know, so I tell you what, sit back, grab you about 8-9 bags of popcorn. We getting ready to do it. How you doing, Dr. Mike? How you doing today?
I'm doing great. It's Wednesday. You know what that means. 300 degree health. And we're going to be talking about some very, very focused health issues today with an incredible cast. Not just one, but we've got a number with us today.
Oh man, we got an all-star cast, and I am so excited about this show. How you doing, Dr. Michelle Cooley?
I'm doing great. I'm excited about the guests today. You said 8 or 9 bags of popcorn. What about 8 or 9 bags of M&Ms?
Oh, yeah. Well,
these are doctors on there, so you can't be mentioning the M&Ms. I ain't got nothing to do with the M&Ms.
I want to ask you something. The guy who's dancing on one foot with his other foot above his knee, and he's tapping and doing all that stuff, that guy's phenomenal. I think he has heard our guests, and that's given him that energy.
Oh yeah.
We'll talk about that.
So, hey, Dr. Mike, Michelle, I'm ready to get this show started. Michelle, can you do the honors by introducing the title of the show, introduce the purpose of the show, and introduce these absolutely fantastic guests?
Yes, I am. The title of today's show is 360-Degree Health Day, and the title is What Are Natural Peptides and How Do They Play a Role in Our Health and Longevity? We're having a sit-down conversation with Mimi Allen and Darcy Buchanan. They are founding affiliates of Make Wellness. Dr. Mark Bartlett, he's the Chief Scientific Officer at Make Wellness, and Alan Jones, he's the VP of Research and Development for Make Wellness. We're going to discuss the differences between therapeutic peptides and bioactive precision peptides. What makes bioactive precision peptides more stable when ingested? What is the importance of the half-life in BPPs, and how does this differ from the half-life of TPs? How does static prevent peptides from fulfilling their mission? How can peptides optimize physiological functioning and impact overall health and wellness? We have 4 guests today. I introduced them and their titles. I'm going to do this in less than a minute, summarize who they are. Mimi Allen. Wow, Mimi's journey in health and wellness has been anything but conventional. A San Diego native, she began her career in pharmaceutical sales, specializing in dermatology, where she gained valuable insights into skincare and longevity. Today, Mimi is focused on her venture with Make Wellness, a company dedicated to promoting wellness and creating opportunities through bioactive precision peptides derived from nature. Dr. Mark Bartlett is a plant natural product biochemist and PhD immunologist with a career spanning cancer research at the National Cancer Institute to pioneering advancements in natural health and wellness. As a scientific officer at Make Wellness, Mark leads the charge in unlocking the potential of bioactive precision peptides, a revolutionary approach to natural health and longevity. Darcy Buchanan is a wife of 32 years, a mother of 3 grown children, and soon a Grammy. After 11 years in direct shares, she discovered Make Wellness, a rapidly growing pre-launch company specializing in bioactive precision peptides. Passionate about health and financial freedom, she leads a thriving team of over 200 members. Alan Jones, after graduating with a Bachelor of Science in Kinesiology in 1991, he earned his Master of Science in Human Nutrition with a specialty in nutritional biochemistry. Over his 33-year career in health and wellness and pharmaceuticals, Jones has held numerous positions, his last as the CEO of Marnock Pharmaceuticals. Right now, he's the VP of Research and Development for Make Wellness, responsible for consumer education and product research and development. Okay, I did it in 2 minutes.
Thank you for being with us. End of the show.
Well, hold on. Welcome all of these guests to the show.
Yes, welcome.
Wow. Wow. Each one of you guys' resume is absolutely outstanding. I'm gonna start out with the first question because I'm gonna ask you, Dr. Berkeley, what exactly is peptides?
Oh, that's for me? Yes. All right. I'm ready. I'm interested because, you would think that there was some kind of weird new invention, like some rock band that just suddenly became famous. But it's so interesting because since we learned what is the central dogma of life, right? It starts with DNA. And what is the only task of DNA? DNA, its task is to really be the blueprint to string amino acids together to make peptides, like as you string them along, which eventually make kind of bigger peptides, which eventually make proteins, which are basically catalyzing all of the biochemical reactions of life and communicating between the cells. So that's the only job of DNA, is to produce peptides and amino acids, at least string those amino acids to make peptides and proteins. So Peptides have been around for a long time. They're really just a short chain of amino acids. They fold in a certain way, right? So every amino acid's a little bit different. Some are positively charged, some are negatively charged, some are hydrophobic, some are hydrophilic. What that means is once the DNA has done its job of encoding the perfect primary sequence, then those amino acids and in the peptide will fold and give a pattern. It's like a key. And your body has thousands and thousands of these locks that are ready to be opened by that key. And it's very much a shape to the receptor interaction. And this is what has made this explosion of knowledge in peptides just in the recent decades so fantastic, because now we are starting to get to the basis of how cells communicate with each other and how we stay healthy.
So now let's take all that scientific knowledge and break it down to the average guy like me.
Wait, I thought that was average.
Okay, I can see. So just in simple language, let's understand how, and I'm sorry, teasing you a little bit here, how peptides are important for health. What's the role in these DNA-produced peptides for the average person's health and well-being?
Do you want me to continue to tackle that one? I'll let you guys have a go as well. But the way that I see it is the human body is just an amazing creation. And the human body is, one of its functions is to kind of keep everything the same, right? Which means like if you're hot, do whatever it needs to do to cool down your body. If you're cold, do what it needs to do to heat it up, whether that's through shivering or something else. If you're wounded, heal, right? If you are invaded by a microbe or a virus, then resist and fight and, have an immune system. So your body is, you're destined for great things. And, we have a life where we have maybe offspring, maybe we are children, maybe we're brothers and sisters. We want to be able to contribute, and we don't want our bodies to get in the way. And the bodies just do these things in an amazing way to keep everything sort of happening. And we call it homeostasis. And so these peptides, these proteins, they are part of that system. They are the structural components of the body, but they're also all of those communication parts of the body that will help you to heal, will help you to sort of maintain homeostasis.
I'm wondering, do peptides play a role in mental well-being?
Absolutely. I think that's one of Alan's favorite topics.
Yeah, absolutely. Dr. Mantell, when you look at, and I'm going to back it back into the power of muscle. And when you look at the importance of muscle mass to mental health, there is a direct link on the benefits of exercising, contracting muscles, and the secretion of a peptide called brain-derived neurotropic factor, BDNF. And BDNF can have a very powerful impact on the health and wellness of our brain, the ability of the brain to adapt to certain situations, the ability of the brain to basically create new nerve connections within and throughout the brain. And so, yes, peptides have a tremendous benefit to overall mental health and wellness.
So we have natural peptides that you have been discussing. But we also know that there are synthetic peptides as well. What's the difference?
Hey, Doc Mike, hold that question. We got to take a station break.
Oh,
we'll come back. I'm enjoying this discussion peptides, and I tell you what, you want to be part of the conversation. Whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether E36 Television, Transfer TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, and 84 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of the comments, all you do is just go to the comments and ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break. Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? In everything that you do.
Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith and learning come together to transform lives. At VCU, we believe that education is more than just academics. It's about fostering a community of growth, integrity, and purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, or doctorate, VCU offers flexible, affordable, and 100% online degree programs that cater to your busy life. Our innovative platform provides a personalized learning experience, empowering you to thrive in today's ever-evolving world. Join a global community of learners guided by an experienced faculty who are committed to your success. With VCU, you're not just earning a degree, you're preparing for a future that integrates faith, leadership, and service. Viridian Christian University, educating with purpose, transforming lives. Learn more at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, that segment was so great. It went by. It went by so fast. It went by. I'm loving this. I'm loving this. And I'll tell you what, I can see the numbers. If you want to be part of the conversation, go to the comments on what you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. We got all these great guests. Promise you we'll get you an answer. I want to start off with the next question, and then turn it back over to the host, Dr. Mike. What's the difference between natural and synthetic peptides? And so let's see. Alan.
Yes, sir.
What's the difference between natural and synthetic peptides?
So a natural peptide is a peptide that has actually been discovered to occur in nature, whether it's in our food, a plant source, an animal source, whether it's in humans. Humans have literally hundreds of thousands of what we term endogenous peptides that are native to our body. And so peptides that are natural are basically found in every aspect of nature throughout the entire universe. Peptides that are synthetic are peptides that are essentially manufactured in a laboratory. And there are a number of synthetic, we call them therapeutic peptides. And really the difference, how we designate the difference between the two is therapeutic peptides are synthetic peptides created in a lab. They're essentially pharmaceutical drugs typically prescribed by a physician, whereas natural peptides are bioactive peptides, bioactive precision peptides in our from the aspect of our position. And these bioactive precision peptides have very powerful functions in optimizing the basically functions and actions of the human body. And so that's really the difference. You've got a therapeutic peptide that is a prescription drug prescribed by a doctor. You've got a bioactive precision peptide that is found in nature. A lot of them are found in our foods, and they help to optimize our body's function. So,
yeah, Mimi.
So I also want to add I think what attracted Darcy and I most to this business is that they're ingestible. So we're just women, moms, health addicts, life addicts, and we want something from the inside out that's going to make us healthier, give us lean muscle, help us at least. We can do, the exercise and eat right, but what else can we do that's like a secret sauce, right? And they're ingestible, they're powders, they're, pills. And so they're easy to take.
And you feel amazing taking them instead of sick for 4 days after.
From an injection. So I think that's one of the things that, we're not going to inject ourselves.
So if I can just pick up for the two of you specifically, because you talk to the general public. You're the ones talking to the public who are interested in this. Dr. Mark and Alan are sort of behind the scenes creating the science behind it. But the average person must have some very interesting questions. What are some questions that the public asks you, Mimi, and you, Darcy, about?
Well, I mean, like I said, they're wanting something more natural. And why do needles if you don't have to? You have to be going to a doctor's office and paying gobs and gobs of money for these injections that are not doing great things to your body, your muscles, your liver, your eyes, your bones, all the things. And then you just get unhealthy. And Alan has a term that I absolutely love, and it's called lifespan, not age span. What do you call it? Health span. It's health span, not lifespan.
Lifespan, strength span. That's what I always wish people on their birthday.
Amazing. And I just love that term and using it.
And you always talk, both of you, Dr. Bartlett and Alan, you always talk about that there is a place for therapeutic and synthetic drugs. There's a place for that. But this is something that the mainstream welcome to peptides. They're easy, they're affordable, they're
with you.
Yeah, they're just something that we want help from the inside out. We have our fit with us. But anyway, that's to your point, Dr. Mantell, it's really just that we want to feel our best into our, as we age. And Darcy's going to be a grandmother soon. I have 17 and 18-year-old boys and just want to be running around with them. And muscle is that. Muscle provides us with longevity.
Mimi, you had an experience that you shared before we went on the air. Are you comfortable in talking about that? I'm sorry, Darcy. Forgive me. The names are reversed. But Darcy, you have an experience that you shared, and I think it's so I don't know, it's so amazing to hear that story.
Yeah.
Would you like to share it with our audience?
I dropped that bomb on you guys real late. So 2 years ago, December, I was living my best life at 54 and had a SCAD heart attack right in front of my 19-year-old boy at the time. And he wasn't even supposed to be home. His college volleyball coach canceled practice randomly and he came home. Anyway, the short story is it's called a SCAD heart attack, and it's where your artery actually dissects. Spontaneous coronary artery dissection. And we knew nothing about that until it happened to me. And he was just right there. He called 911. They walked him through. I mean, I literally had sudden cardiac death right in front of him. So, but he was on it. He's also type 1 diabetic on synthetic insulin. And he was the one that was supposed to be with me because he knows every second counts. So the quick story is they were there at my house in 2 minutes. They were closer to my house than even the fire station. And they defibrillated me 7 times and it didn't work. And they put this Lucas continual compression machine on me, which kept my blood flowing until they got me to Travis Heart Hospital strips. And they got me back. They put me in coma. They iced my body down. This is a very quick story. I woke up on Wednesday wondering what happened. I was the healthiest one in the house, but I believe I survived because I did take care of my body and I was healthy. But up until I got on these peptides, I was sort of living a little bit of a half retired life and was, maybe taking a nap every day or outside pulling weeds and, just working very, very part-time until I found these. Are you crying? Oh my gosh.
It makes me sad. It's just.
And so I have never felt better. I'm on all the peptides and I'm buzzing around like a little bee, just sharing these products and the opportunity with everybody I know and love. That's the shortest story I can make it.
Well, that was a magnificent story. It obviously engages us all.
Miraculous.
So I just, again, a question. Your cardiologist, now looking back over the last couple of years, your cardiologist and your team of physicians know you're taking these peptides. And what are they saying about this?
Well, funny you ask. I actually have fired 2 cardiologists because they weren't quite paying the amount of attention after what happened to me. I mean, my first one in the hospital said I can count on 1, maybe 2 hands where the person survives the night or has their brain after. And I got everything back. I mean, I have no memory of my hospital time, but that's okay. I think that's divine. But I've sent all 6 of the boxes of the ingredients to my cardiologist that I have now that I absolutely love. And he's like, these are awesome. Let me know how it goes.
And Cooper.
Yes. And my son Cooper, the one that saved me, he's on fit, and you should see his Cobra.
And he's a type 2.
He's type 1 diabetic, and he's loving fit. And my husband is on lean, and he's lost 10 pounds without trying, and he's a foodie.
So for someone who lives a healthy lifestyle, they exercise, they eat well, they socialize, sort of like the blue zone type of a lifestyle, which we can talk about in another show, but you know what I mean? The people who are living well into their 90s, 100s and above, how can peptides add to that in terms of health and longevity? I'm already eating well, I'm exercising, I'm socializing, I'm not no risky substances, I sleep well. What will peptides do for me in addition to all that? Dr. Mark, you're muted.
Thanks. Yeah, let me have a crack at that. So
please.
Probably you'll see more benefit if you are less blue zone, but nevertheless, I feel like the answer lies in evolutionary biology. It's so interesting that our bodies were designed perfectly for a state of scarcity and sort of not an abundance of calories and high caloric density foods. So our bodies were designed to, for example, dump muscle if you don't need it, because it takes a lot of calories to support that muscle. Dump aerobic fitness if you don't need it, because it takes a lot of energy to support that extra vascularization, et cetera. Also, your body's designed to crave food constantly because you're always saving up for the next famine. And now we live in this modern world that has shifted faster than our evolutionary biology can keep up. So I feel like no matter what kind of person you are, whether you're really fit or whether you're struggling a little bit with all of these challenges of the modern world, peptides are beautiful because they are the way that nature communicates and helps your body, and maybe just kind of reset the signals a little bit so that now you're preserving muscle, that it's not so expensive to maintain it, so that maybe you're not quite so hungry because, the famine's not around the corner.
Let's talk about, I know we have just a moment or two before a break, but I'm curious about the research behind all this. This is not something that is just like something light out there. I read on the internet that this is good for. This is research behind this. Right? Mm-hmm. Let's talk a little bit about what the latest research is telling us about peptides and their efficacy. And when we see James, that means what?
Hey Doc, can you ask that question when we come back from the break? This is so fascinating. I am learning. I never heard the word peptide. I mean, and wow. I want to know a lot more about this. I tell you what. Amazing. Want to be part of this conversation, whichever platform you're watching us on? All you have to do is just go to the comments, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get your answer. If you're going to be listening to it on the radio, wow. Yeah, this is certainly going to be on the radio. This is absolutely extraordinary and fantastic conversation. So I tell you what, we're going to take a station break, and we'll be back with all these absolutely fantastic guests. Remember, it's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Yeah. Come on. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
A Black Man's Point of View is the newest Amazon.com #1 release and bestseller book from author Dr. James J.C. Cooley, featuring the perspective from 11 other contributing authors. In A Black Man's Point of View, Dr. James Cooley unpacks his thoughts and personal experiences about the challenges, stereotypes, and feelings of self-worth that many black men face today due to a 400-year ancestry rooted in slavery and colonization. Yet, how so many black men move forward despite this history. Most importantly, A Black Man's Point of View conveys that all men, regardless of race, creed, or color, are capable of love, respect, and dignity. Described as a map to a greater life from the heart of a man who's experienced life's misfortune and harsh conditions, James shows us how beliefs, convictions, and a healthy mentality can help propel a life worth living. A must-read for all. Order your copy of A Black Man's Point of View by author Dr. James J.C. Cooley today from Amazon.com or wherever books are sold.
Noah Dingley here, producer of The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. And the new audio version of James' book, Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet, is a must-have. James shares his true life story of struggle and success in America. It's both a cautionary tale and a roadmap to achieving the American dream. Get the new audio version of Country Boy, City Boy, A Journey That Ain't Over Yet by James Cooley on Amazon.com or wherever audiobooks are sold.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you what, as you already know, Tuesdays and Wednesdays, pretty much. We got Dr. Michael Mantell. Wow, we've been doing this for 2.5 years. Dr. Mike, I can't believe this thing went by that fast. I mean, it's just, and we done had the best guests on our show in the world, and we got 4 right now. You're looking at it, so. I'm going to step back, Dr. Mike, because I want to learn a lot more about peptides. And I think we got a Dre asked the question. Michelle, you want to read that?
Yes, Dre Antes asked a question. What's the difference between peptides and supplements? So whoever wants to answer that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
I feel like I've been doing a lot of talking, so.
You have the best accent. Go ahead.
Well, I don't know. I think in this case, it's really interesting that Darcy brought up type 1 diabetes. Like there you have an example of insulin, which is a peptide discovered 100 years ago and which saves lives. And it's so interesting because, after all these years, after 100 years, we still cannot create a bioidentical peptide of insulin that can be taken orally, right? It must be injected because something fascinating about peptides is that they are designed to be short-lived signals in the body. So as soon as they're created, they're this string of amino acids, there are enzymes that break them down. I like to use sharks, right? They immediately break down those peptides, and they're very specific because the signal is meant to be very short. And in the case of insulin, its structure does not allow it to be ingested orally. It'll just be broken down and won't be used. So there is a real need for peptides that are injectable. They're very potent. They save lives. They do incredible things. So when it comes to talking about then the difference between a peptide and a supplement, that's very drastic difference, right? The supplements are natural and they are bioavailable, meaning that there's a certain structure about that peptide that allows it to be digested in the human body, but not before it's actually acted as a messenger. And let me give you a couple examples in the life cycle. I love what you say about sort of the cycles and phases and stages of life. When you are a baby and you're having your first mother's milk, there's a special milk called colostrum, and it is full of peptides. Lots of peptides like transferrins and defensins, and these are antimicrobial, antifungal type peptides that protect the baby. There's lactoferrin, which helps the baby to sleep. So you're getting these peptides from the moment that you're born. You could call that food, I suppose. What we are learning now is how to isolate some of those amazing peptides from nature, from plants, and looking at their structure, understanding how those peptides will fold, whether or not they will survive the GI, and how they will interact with receptors in the body. So in that sense, if you've designed it properly, and if you've proven it through clinical studies and through cell biology to make sure that it survives the GI, now you've got a supplement.
Well, where can people, because I'm curious, and I'm sure that our viewers and our listeners are curious as well. What can they, if they wanted to get these peptides, I'm talking about whatever the vitamins supplement, where can they get them from?
So
pick up on that.
Okay. So there is a company that was founded in July, and it's called Make Wellness. And we have 6 products. We have 2 support products and 4 peptides. And one is exactly for what we were discussing with building lean muscle. And one is for losing weight. The peptide in there is called Apticurb. And the peptide, I'll focus on the lean and the muscle building. PeptiStrong Plus with the technology matrix. So those 2 are really, we look at what's available now and why peptides are coming to the market so strongly. And people really, you ask them, do you know what a peptide is? And they say, yeah. And then, okay, well, tell me what a peptide is. And they say, well, I've heard of it.
Right.
I know. And so there's a few out there, the semaglutides and the ones that people are using to lose weight that, we don't know what the long-term effects are. And so we have 2 one is our gold standard, which is the Fit. And these are Make Wellness products. And so we're affiliates. We're affiliate marketers with the company. And we're just so proud and privileged to represent a brand that is all natural. And we're partnered with a company out of Ireland, actually, called Neuritos. And the company is, we have managed to make the products even better because we're making them more effective in the body. So whatever keratin, magnesium, whatever that happens to be. But anyway, I'm veering off the subject. Make Wellness is the company, and we'll put up a link after that. If you'd like more information, we're happy to get you information.
What are some of the side effects? And if you want to put a link, you can put it in the chat and I can share it with everybody. But is there any known side effects to taking this product?
I'll just give you quickly what I know is just someone who's taking them. From the research that we have, there's been 0 side effects. The only thing that you would need to think about, and you can correct me, Alan and Dr. Mark, is if you're allergic to any of the ingredients. Is that correct?
Yeah, I will say that, your typical side effects are really the same side effects that anybody would have for any other type of vitamin and mineral supplement or food supplement. Typically, the biggest one is going to be some type of an allergy to one of the ingredients in the products. We do have a couple of our products that use caffeine as a catalyst to enhance the activity of those specific peptides. And some people are sensitive to caffeine, so there will be a caffeine sensitivity reaction that some people may have. And other than that, most people are going to know For example, if they're allergic to, a specific ingredient or something, all of our ingredients, we're very transparent on our labels of what is in that product. And so if you're allergic to something, you're going to know it by just reading the labels on the products.
And we're very careful with the products that we put into the Make Wellness products. We have a clean slate list, for example. So no dyes, and you can look on there and go, wow, that's real legit. So something to consider.
And Dr. Mike, I'd like to give sort of just some general principles here, which I think kind of are interesting and put it in context. Whenever you take a drug, or actually even a lot of phytochemicals, things that are from nature but are bioactive chemicals, it's so interesting that your body actually has a detoxification process to deal with it, right? They're more or less seen as foreign, even if they might be helpful and friendly and activate certain systems in the body. So your body then has to go through this detoxification process, usually involves the liver, phase 1 and phase 2 detoxification. Phase 1 is really about oxidizing that molecule to help it set up for stage 2, which is adding sugar molecules to it so that it will be solubilized and then excreted. And this kind of takes its toll a little bit. There is an expense, a metabolic expense to this process. Peptides are quite different. Like I said, they are linked to the basic dogma of life, which means that the DNA is the design for the string of amino acids, and we have the message that is built, but then broken down very quickly back into amino acids. So you don't even have to go through this detoxification pathway that puts a toll on the body. This makes actually these bioactive natural peptides from nature probably the safest thing that you can do in terms of a bioactive approach to your body.
So we have a question from Carmen. How does a peptide work with your DNA to target a particular process? For example, weight loss or muscle protection. Who can answer that for us?
Yeah, Alan would be really good at this because they're created by the DNA, but they also can be bioactive and interact with the DNA for a biological effect. And I've heard Alan talk a lot about this, especially in the context of muscle.
Take it away, Alan.
All right. So when you talk about the DNA and you talk about the purpose of the DNA's purpose is to create peptides and thus proteins. And these peptides, so you ask, how does a peptide work with your DNA? The DNA actually uses those peptides to create these naturally derived proteins that are responsible for building for example, with our FIT product, our muscle mass and maintaining our muscle mass. And so the way they work together to target that particular process is really, there's just a cooperative effort between the two, depending on which peptide that is actually being consumed at that time, and the biological characteristics of that peptide and what that peptide's purpose is. And so I think I answered her question there, but there is definitely a cooperative benefit between peptides and DNA and achieving that optimal outcome.
Yeah, let me expand on that a bit, Alan. It gets me excited. So the DNA is not just this static thing that then says, okay, start, being an assembly line and create these peptides. Actually, the DNA is exquisitely sensitive to outside stimulus. So we can adapt to our environment. Basically, it's like this recipe book. And at any one time, there are 25,000 recipes. And if someone walks into the restaurant and there's a huge demand all of a sudden for, chicken vindaloo or something, the DNA reacts. It has these like sections in front of those genes that can turn things up or turn things down. And so imagine a gene that says, okay, my job is to create this peptide that's a growth hormone. And it's going to bind to a different part of the body, a growth hormone receptor that's going to then impact this DNA in the muscle to start actually producing more of the muscle-associated protein. So there's this beautiful interaction between the need and the creation of the peptide and where that peptide then can influence biological processes, some of it directly onto DNA.
Wow.
And
wow.
I also just...
Can you hold that thought? We
Yes.
got to take this break. They're going to get me, but I want to come back. And I tell you, this is extraordinary. We're going to take a station break. I'm going to try to make it fast, but this is long commercial break right here. And I want to get back, and I want to talk about this again. Dr. Mike, I want these people back on the show.
Oh, boy.
Back on, Doc.
I'm not going to get not even close to any of the questions we've got. But let's get to the break and get back to the questions.
Okay, so if you want to be part of this conversation, wow, all you have to do is go to the platform that you're watching us on, ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
Hi, I'm Dr. Michelle Cooley. I've heard so many powerful stories from women who survived heart disease because they took action in time. But I've also heard stories of women who weren't as lucky. The difference? Awareness, access to care, and early intervention. According to the American Heart Association, every 80 seconds, a woman in the United States dies from cardiovascular disease. That's more than one life lost every single minute. But did you know that 80% of heart disease cases are preventable? That's right, 80%. That means small changes like eating healthier, exercising, and managing stress can save lives.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm committed to making sure that more women survive and strive. Please join me in raising funds for the American Heart Association to support life-saving research, because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, let's spread awareness and help women recognize the warning signs before it's too late.
Welcome. At Viridian Christian University, we believe education is more than just a degree. It's a pathway to a purpose-driven life. Whether you're advancing your career, pursuing a passion, or building a new future, VCU's 100% online programs give you the flexibility to learn on your terms, anywhere, anytime. With expert faculty, personalized mentorship, and a faith-centered approach, you'll gain the skills, knowledge, and leadership you need to make a lasting impact. VCU offers bachelor's, master's, and doctorate degrees, each designed to empower you for success in today's fast-changing world. Join a global community of believers, learners, and leaders. Ready to start your journey? Viridian Christian University, transforming lives, empowering futures. Visit us at ViridianChristianUniversity.com. That's ViridianChristianUniversity.com.
Welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, this is one of the most extraordinary shows I believe that we have done in the last 2.5 years, Dr. Mike. The guests are absolutely passionate about what they do, the knowledge that they possess, and how they convey these thoughts. Make me want to jump out and get me some peptides. Right.
James, I think it's time. That leads me to my question.
Well, hold on before you go to the question. I got to tell everybody about this fantastic university called Viridian Christian University. Yeah, I am the chancellor. Yes, I am. But I tell you what, we're accredited. We offered over 30 different degree programs, bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and people that are doing this extraordinary things. We offer honorary doctorate degrees as well. I mean, we got a graduation coming up in, when is that graduation, Michelle? In April?
Yes, that's in April. We're excited about that.
Graduation is going to be in Dubai. And because we got international students from all around the world that are going to graduate in Dubai with us. And I'm just honored because I had to hood them. as a chancellor. So we're excited about that. But I tell you what, if you're looking to further your education, whether it's a bachelor's, master's, doctorate, and if you doing or extraordinary things, honorary doctorate degrees, go to Viridian Christian University and check us out. And I tell you what, you won't be disappointed. I want to get back to you, Dr. Mike. You got this, but
we need at least another hour plus. But real quickly, Becky Stratford asked a great question. In other words, what's the difference between the lean peptide product of Make Well and GLP-1, which we hear so much about that people are taking for weight loss? Tell us about the difference. And Alan, specifically, Becky is asking you.
Well, I would prefer hearing Dr. Bartlett because his Australian accent is much better than my Texas accent.
No, we love the Southern accent, the real Southern accent.
Southern accent's great. Go for it.
All right. So the difference between our lean product and the GLP-1, there's actually a significant difference, and you can't even put them together. They're totally two different products. Our lean product is actually a combination of bioactive precision peptides combined with bioactive polyphenolic compounds that actually help to increase thermogenesis naturally. It helps our body utilize body fat. It helps liberate body fat through the process of lipolysis, or the essentially cleaving of fat throughout the body. And this works in both visceral and subcutaneous fat. On the other hand, a GLP-1 works. It's an injectable peptide. It has to be injected typically once a week. And there's a reason why it's only injected once a week. I'm going to go back to lean here real quick. One of the benefits of lean is that it actually inhibits an enzyme called dipeptidyl peptidase 4, DPP4. Okay. And what DPP4 does, see this, DPP4? DPP4 is a shark that actually goes in. No, it's a peptidase enzyme that actually goes in and destroys our body's natural GLP-1. Okay. GLP-1 is a naturally occurring peptide in the body that helps tell our brains that we're full. It helps turn off our appetite, and it helps to basically control glucose homeostasis as well. GLP-1, the receptor antagonist peptide, which that's what a GLP-1 actually is called. It's GLP-1RA. The GLP-1RA is a synthetic peptide that has been produced with a half-life of about 7 days versus our natural GLP-1 that has a half-life of just a few minutes. Okay. So you see the difference between our natural peptide GLP-1, the GLP-1 receptor agonist. Those half-lives are significant. I know we're going to talk about half-lives in just a little bit, but when you talk about a long half-life versus a short half-life starts bringing into some safety implications with that as well. So Dr. Mantell, the main difference is that you've got GLP-1s, they're synthetic, they're injectable, very, very, very long 7-day half-life. They replace our body's natural ability to produce our own GLP-1.
Well, I want to interrupt a little bit, let you guys know we only got 4 minutes left in the show.
Oh, wow. I'm sorry.
We got another question right here.
I do want to add to that, Alan, too, because you were just getting there, is that with the lean, you're in the clinical trials, the loss of fat is 100% from the weight loss is 100% from fat, 65% from your visceral fat. Whereas the GLP-1 is, muscle. It's a loss of muscle on the GLP-1. It's a loss of fat on the lean. And that's a big, big difference. So I know we were going to go into, within Make Wellness, we were going to go into how to use, like if someone is on a GLP-1, the injectable synthetic, that they would use FIT because it would help them to increase their lean muscle mass. I'm gonna leave it at that. You can.
Okay, Michelle, are you or Dr. Mike? Can you read the question?
I can read it. It's from Carmen. She goes, with the fear or memory loss as we age or with tiredness, how does your focus product work with cognitive health? And anybody can answer that.
Alan's an expert on this. Go, Alan.
All right. So our focus product contains a combination of bioactive precision peptides along with very specific amino acids that act as basically mental focus cognitive enhancers. And so essentially what we're doing is we're providing those nutrients and those messengers to help our body increase the neurotransmitters and those basic signals throughout our brain. So it builds cognitive health. It helps to enhance memory and focus and cognition and productivity and all that good stuff. So trying to keep that simple, short, sweet, and to the point.
I appreciate it. We hear a lot about personalized medicine these days. I'm wondering, is personalized peptide therapy something that we might see more of in the future?
I think absolutely, because again, we're talking about direct communications with the cells. These are like text messages that the cells receive. And there are so many platforms, whether it's healing or GI health or cognitive focus or muscle maintenance. There's a lot of future for these peptides in personalized health.
So if a listener wants
Dr. Mike, we almost in time. I don't want to get in trouble with the network. But I tell you what, I want to real quickly, 30 seconds or less, one of you guys could tell our audience that takeaways, 30 seconds less, from this absolutely fantastic conversation. Let's go with you, Dr. Mark. I think that's a question for you.
Yeah, thanks. I think we're all going to learn a lot more about peptides in the future. I think it's the future of health. Bioactive natural precision peptides are safe. And I think we've only just seen the beginning of this amazing trail that we're blazing.
Oh, real quickly, though, with Thomas and Monica, can you take that, Dr. Mike, and let's get a quick response?
I'm not a peptide expert, but they want to know, do I need to be one to partner with Make Wellness as an affiliate?
Absolutely not. Yeah, I'll answer that real quick. Absolutely not. That's the reason they have Dr. Bartlett and myself.
Got it. And they can get information at makewellness.com.
Makewellness.com. I tell you what, this has been an absolutely fantastic show. Dr. Mike, I would love to have, if they have time in their schedule, to come back on to talk a little bit more about that. I'm excited. I would love to sample some of the products if that's possible as well. Wow, I don't know what I did. Wow, what did I do? I mean, I was excited. I was trying to put this back on there again, but I tell you what, it's been absolutely fantastic. Dr. Mike, if you can set this up again, if they have time, we can bring them back on again in about a month or so to continue this conversation. But I want to thank each and every last one of you for taking the time to come on the show. I'd like to thank Dr. Mike. He's my hero, my mentor. Always put together great guests.
Absolutely.
I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together a fantastic show. Most importantly, I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the James Cooley Show. It's your life, Monday through Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Also on AM 660, The Answer, AM 1170, Answer, AM 660, Answer in Dallas, AM 1170, Answer in San Diego. Always, always, always dream big, think big, and be big at everything you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. Yes.
Thank you.